Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we are back again with a new interesting video, that is the 8 levels of writing Python functions. So in this video we are going to see that the 8 levels in which a Python function can be created or can be used. Okay, so as you can see I have written the goal and the concepts also, okay, against each level, so you can just read the goals and the concept also, and I'll just go with the programming. Okay, so let's just start with the level 1, that is to create a basic function definition, means how to create a basic Python function. Okay, so let's just start it by that. So for that we have to use a def keyword, which is stands for define. So basically in Python when we create a function, so we are defining the function. Okay, so for that we use the def keyword followed with a space, and then we give the name of that function followed by parenthesis and then colon, and then you have to write the block of codes or set of instructions which you want to perform inside the function. Okay, so here I have created a def greet and I'm just returning hello world simply. Okay, and then how to call the function. So for calling the function you have to just write the function name followed by the parenthesis, and then you will execute the cell, so you will see that your function has been executed. Okay, so only it is not that you will create a function. So when you have to apply or use the function, then you have to call the function also. This is very important. Okay, now let's go to the next level, that is level 2, function arguments. Okay, so in the level 1 we have seen that how we can create a function. In level 2 we'll see that how we will take parameters, okay, in a function. So for that I have just taken the same example def greet, but this time we are not going to print hello world. We will print hello and some name added to it. Okay, now for printing hello and some name I have used the f string. So those of you don't know, f string is a formatted string type in which we can easily put our variables and print it. As you can see I have just hello and I have put my name, the parameter, inside the curly braces. Okay, so it is very easy and very useful, so you guys can also use it. And this is how I have taken a parameter in the name followed by the parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis you can take as many as parameters by taking a comma and then writing again some parameter value. Okay, now I'm returning hello name. Let's again call the function greet and let's give Python over here. Okay, so now it will give us hello Python. Now we will not give anything. Okay, it is taking one parameter but we are not returning any, means we are not giving any argument. So at this time it will give you a type error, and that error is that greet function missing one required positional argument name. Name was a parameter given, but we haven't put a argument when we are calling the function. So we have to, if we are taking one parameter, so we have to give one argument also. Now let's come to the level 3, that is default argument. Okay, now what is default argument? So it is also a way of taking arguments in Python. Now what we do inside this, we are taking the same example, greet function name, but now in the name we are explicitly providing the value also. Okay, so we are providing a default value world. Okay, so that when we'll call the greet method, okay, and when we'll not put anything inside the greet method, so it will print the default value, means it is not going to throw the error which we have seen in the level 2. It will just use the default value and print hello world. But what if you write something over here? So when you write something over here, so that default value will be replaced to that new value which we have given the time of calling the function. Okay, so when I've given Python here, so it will not print hello world, now it will print hello Python. So this is how you can just, to uh, avoid these types of type error, you can just put a default value also in your parameter at the time of creating or defining the function. Now let's come to the level 4, that is variable length arguments, that is also called as the arbitrary number of arguments. Okay, asterisk args or double asterisk kwargs, that means arbitrary arguments or keyword arbitrary arguments. Now what are these arbitrary arguments? See, when we don't know when we don't know that how many parameters we are going to use, okay, And sometimes we know that how many parameters we will need. So at that time, when we know that how many parameters we are going to means it will going to use, so at that time we can use positional arguments, means by writing the names, name, last name, first name, just like that. But when we don't know that how many names, suppose 10 names, 20 names, or 5 names, 6 names we have to use. So at that time we can use arbitrary arguments. Okay. Now for using arbitrary arguments, the syntax is that you have to put a asterisk sign before your parameter. So as you can see, I have taken names over here and I have put before names, I've just put a asterisk. And notice one thing, means note one thing, you have to, there will be no space between the asterisk and the names. Okay, means the name of the parameter and the asterisk. Between these two things, there will be no space. Okay. Now, in the return, when I'll will print hello, and at the time of calling the function, when I'll give multiple names, so let's see that also. See, Python. Now, I have taken only one parameter, but now I can give suppose Java. Let's give JS. So hello Python Java JS. Okay. So this is our output. We have taken only one names, but in the argument, in the time of calling the function, we are giving three arguments. But then also it is not giving us any error because of this asterisk sign. Means because we have converted into an arbitrary argument. So because of that. Now one more thing, in the return we have used the join method. Okay. So join method is a method of the strings which is used to print multiple values by separating those values with a separator, and that separator is comma here, and I've given a space also so that after the comma this space should also get printed. Okay, so you can also use the join and just write the parameter name over here. Okay, and then it will be printed in an interactive way. Now let's move to the level 5, that is return multiple values. Yes, you heard it right. In Python functions we can return multiple values also. Multiple values in the sense we can return, let's see with the example. Here is, I have created a method for doing the division. Okay, divide. I have taken two parameters a and b. Now I want to return the quotient also and the remainder also. So for that, as you can see, I have taken a quotient. Okay, and then I've applied a floor division b. Means basically I'm doing the division here using the floor division operator. And then so that I'll get a proper integer value only. I don't want any float value. Because of that, you can use uh, a single divide operator also. So maybe at that time it will give you the value in uh, some float value. Then I want the remainder also. So for remainder, I have used a modulus b. Okay. So modulus returns gives us the remainder value. And then the main thing is that in the return, I'm returning quotient and remainder both. Now to notice here, one more thing is that when you call the divide method and put and give two values, so our value will be returned inside a tuple. Okay, it will be returned inside a tuple. So let's see that divide. So I'll give a as 10 and b as 3. So now you can see inside a tuple we are getting first the quotient, that is 3, and the remainder will be 1. Okay, so you can return multiple values also. And with this, one more thing is there, that tuple unpacking, you can unpack that also, means that is also unlocked here, so you can do the tuple unpacking also. Okay, now let's come to the next level, that is level 6, first class functions. Now what are first class functions? See, Python function has a special feature, okay, that it can be passed, means a Python function can be passed as an argument inside a Python function. So because of that property or that feature, you can say Python functions are called as first class. Okay. So now I have taken a simple example over here. First, I have taken a apply function. Okay. Now let me explain this function first. Def apply underscore function. Okay, using the def keyword, we are creating an apply underscore function. In that, we are taking two parameters. The first parameter is func. It is a function name. Okay. And the second parameter is value. It will be the value for that function. Okay. Then in the return, we are simply returning a function. Okay, we are simply returning that function which we have taken as a parameter, and that value we have put inside that function as a parameter. Okay, and we are returning that. Now what we are going to do, now we will create a function to do the square. So I have created a function def square. I have taken a value x as a parameter, and I'm just in return I'm just doing the square of the x. So x multiply x, so it will do the square of it. Okay, now the main thing is that we're not going to call the square function, okay, but we will be able to do the square. Now how we will be able to do the square? That is, in this line we have called the apply underscore function. Okay, and our apply function takes two parameters. First it takes the function name, and second it takes the value. So our function name is this square which we have created, so we'll write the square here, and then the value. Okay, so the second parameter is the value. Okay, so we'll put the value. So we want to do the square of 5, so we'll write 5. Okay, means not the square of 5, we want that we have to put the value 5, or you can put any number, so 5 now, and we are storing it into a variable result, or you can say object result, and let's just print that result. So we will get now 25. Okay, so we have not called the square function. Okay, we are not calling the square function, we are putting the square function as a parameter inside of different function. Okay, and then we can apply that function. So this enables the higher order functions. Okay, so this is how we can pass a function as a parameter or as an argument inside another function. Okay, so that to make that function as a higher order function. Now let's move to the next level, that is level 7, the lambda functions. Okay, yeah, lambda function. Now what do you mean by lambda functions, or what do you mean by lambda? So lambda functions in Python is functions which are used to create short, okay, short and unnamed functions. So that's why they are called as anonymous function also. Okay, anonymous in the sense that it can be created anywhere in the program. Okay, it doesn't need any definition or anything. You can just create it anywhere in your program. So that is the thing. You can give it inside a key also. Means suppose if you're using a method sorted, so in that you can give it inside a key also, this lambda function. So this is very useful. Let's see how we can create a lambda function. So for same purpose, for doing the square only, in the level 6, what we have done in the level 6, we have defined a special method square for that. Now in the level 7, we will just do the same thing using the lambda functions very easily. Let's see how. So again, we are taking the apply underscore function, same as it is, same thing it is doing. It is taking func as a parameter, a function as a parameter, then the value, and returning func parenthesis value. Now the main thing is here, when we are calling the apply functions, so in the level 6 we are created if means we have defined a special square function for that, so that we can put the square function over here. But now in this apply underscore function takes function as a parameter, so what we'll do, we'll give it a lambda function. Okay, so in place of functions we'll put a lambda function there. Now how to create a lambda function? So the syntax for creating lambda function is that we have to use the keyword lambda. So lambda is itself a keyword also. So lambda, lambda, with a space, and after the space you will write all the parameters, okay, that we are going to use. So I am going to use, because we have to do the square, so I am going to use only x. So I've written x, then followed by the colon. After colon we will write our expression, means the operation which we want to perform. For that, whatever the expression we need, we'll write that. So I have to do the square, so I know that square will be x multiply x, so I'll just x asterisk x. And then the second parameter the apply function take is value, so we'll write the value 5. And now let's just, and we are storing it in the result, so let's just print the result. So 25. The same work which we have created a square function in the level 6, here we have done the same thing using the lambda function very easily. So this is also very useful function. Okay, now one more thing is there, you can use this lambda function, and this lambda function, you can say it is very oftenly used in the higher order functions of Python, that is map, reduce, and filter. In those higher order functions also these lambda function is used. Now let's go to the last level, that is the level 8, decorators. Okay. Now, what are decorators? First of all, we should know that. So, uh, a decorator in Python functions, you can say you can say it as a special tool that let us add some extra features or behaviors to our functions, okay, without changing its actual code. Main thing is that without changing the actual code means if you want to take examples, so let's assume a gift, okay. So we have a gift. Now what we do, we add some wrapping to the gift and we put stickers on that gift, okay, so that the our means our the original gift that will be wrapped inside that proper wrapper, so to make it more interactive, okay. So that is, you can say, this with the decorators also we do the same thing to our function, okay. Now how decorator work? So first of all, we create a function inside a function, okay. So now let's see this example. We create a function inside a function. So a decorator is just a normal regular function only that takes another function as an argument. Okay, another function as an argument. So that we have already seen in the level 7 and the level 6 also. So what is different here? So that I'll tell you. See, a decorator is a function. Okay, so I have taken a decorator name, means the name is not necessary. You can take any name, but I have taken decorator as a name. Okay, so def decorator, and then in the parameter I've taken a function. Okay, then inside the decorator function, I have taken a wrapper function. Now, what is the use of this wrapper function and why I have created this? So use of this wrapper function is that this wrapper function is going to wrap my original function. Okay, this function. Okay, and now you will notice in this wrapper function we are taking keyword arbitrary arguments and the simple arbitrary arguments as a parameter. Why we are taking keyword arbitrary arguments as a parameter? Because we want that as many as parameter, means we don't know for now, we don't know that how many parameters this this func will take. So that's why we have taken a wrapper function, and inside the wrapper function we have taken the arbitrary and the keyword arbitrary arguments, so that if multiple parameters are also coming, so we can easily handle that. Okay, now this wrapper function, inside this wrapper function what we are going to do, we are going to perform our wrapping. Okay, just like how we do wrapping on our gift, that we are going to do. So we will print some message before the execution of the function and some message after the execution of the function. So I'm just using simple print function to print a message before the function. Okay, then I'm calling my func. Okay, func over here, and I'm taking the same amount of parameters which I have taken in the wrapper function also. Okay, so you have to take, it is mandatory that you have to take same amount of parameters in the func, means in the time of calling the func. Okay, and then I'm printing the result. I'm storing this function calling in a result variable and printing the result, and then I'm again using the print function to print a message after the function. And then at last, coming out of the wrapper function, I'm just returning the wrapper function inside the decorator function. Okay, now you can see this thing at the rate decorator, and why we have put that. So this is the syntax. Okay, using the at the rate symbol. So whenever we have to apply a decorator to our function, so we have to use that at the rate symbol followed by the decorator function's name, and we have to put exact above the function you want to decorate. So suppose I want to decorate this grid, so I have to just put in the just next up line. Okay, so just above that line I have to write at the rate and the function name. So then this decorator means this line will do what? This line will decorate this grid function. Okay, now I have taken a grid function with a parameter name, and I'll return hello name. Okay, and I'm calling the function with the parameter world. So now let's call the function and let's see what is our output. So when I've executed my cell, so you can see my output is before the function. Okay, this line gets printed, then hello what got printed, and then after the function get printed. It means what? We just decorate our greet function, okay, with some messages before and after. So you can apply only before or only after, or you can do the both also. So with the name decorator, it means it is used to decorate. Means not only for printing messages, for do perform some operations also, it can be used. Basically for decorating our original function with some with some operation which we have to perform uh, just before the function calling and just after the function calling. So for that, this decorators are used, and it is a very useful uh, function, Python functions features also. So I hope you have understood this. Okay, so that's all the levels have been finished. So these were all the 8 levels of writing the Python functions. So I hope you like this video, and this video will be very useful for you and you have understood something. So yes, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next video.